Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we are having the next one, the 18-year-old with Mark. And yeah, the 18-year-old, is it again a bourbon cask?
It's 100% ex-bourbon cask, yeah.
So it's basically a little bit less ABV, but like the 10, but older.
Exactly. And we fill it at our drinking strength of 48%. We only have two products anyway, Oak Select and 10-year standard with 40% that we bottle. Everything else is 48% or higher. So 48% for us is the best drinking strength. Not too much alcohol, not too less alcohol is a good strength, which works perfectly with our profile. Mm. And you can add water anyway. If you want it down to lead it down to a little bit, like 46 or 45, just add a few drops of water.
Yeah, but it's a bit more difficult for the distillery to bring out more 48ers because that really drains your casks faster. I think you can get a lot more 40ers out of a cask than 48ers.
Of course, this is the problem we had in the past when we had the boom time and there was no 10 years cask strength, because that's the first you get rid of in the market. 59.3%, 58.3% as we said, to 40%. This is a lot of bottles in between when you're not having enough stocks. So, but that speaks for Laphroaig. I mean, 18 years old is not available in every market, and Germany was one of the first markets, because for Laphroaig is one of the two major markets, and it speaks for us that we bottle that at 48% because our stock is not this high. Yeah, we're still building up even on that age, but we could be greedy and bring it out with 40% and bring it out for more markets. But why should we bring out something less affair-like and say 40% is enough? This brings out the flavor. We don't want anything less, and it's perfectly made.
Yep. I'm excited how it tastes.
Oh, sorry.
I'm really excited. It's now called the distinguished one. The other one said, what was it?
Powerful.
The powerful one.
The 10 years cask strength was the powerful,
Yeah, so you could argue that a cask or a high strength is more environmental friendly, because everybody has water at home, and a cask strength lasts you longer, and you need less bottles to fill it up.
You could.
You could argue. Would probably actually be really good. Ooh, this is totally different. Whereas the other one was really spicy and tobacco smoky, this one is more. It has smokiness, a little bit less, a bit more gentle, but with a bit of a. It's a mixture between that typical marine Laphroaig and a little bit of a smoky Highland medicinal herby kind of touch to it.
But it's difficult to compare to 10 years cask strength, because you have 8 years in age and over 10% of alcohol in difference. But this brings out the age, of course. Yeah, with the ex-bourbon the ex-bourbon cask we use here, you can feel of course, there's always a sweetness. Laphroaig, there's always a sweetness lingering through with the peat, of course. If it's honey or fruit, sweetness can differ, but it's always sweet integrated. But here you have green notes like green apples. You have more like herby notes. There's always Atlantic going through, as you expect from a Laphroaig as well. Yeah, a little bit like seaweed.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's also a little bit of kind of leather. And if you taste it, there's also the herbs coming out. There is a little bit of peppermint, menthol, and this is what we do next. We will taste the 25 years old, because for one big reason is 7 years in age in difference. The 25 is also cask strength with 47.3, so nearly on that as well. So it's a good comparison, but not watered down, of course. But you see the next step. This is the way to the 25 years old, because the peat we will talk about is very getting a little bit less. It's getting down.
Yeah.
It's more integrated, but it's getting down, and this is what the age does as well. But in the 25, it's even more less. It's more in the back, and but you get more herbs, more of that fruits, and you get more of the peppermint as well. Yeah. So you can see from the 18. This is what I do in some tastings now as well. I start with the 18, go to the 25, and you can already see where the way is for the 18 years old in flavors. But what you have is the peat is going down, is more in the back, like it's not more of offensive, I would say. It's more the fruits, everything going forward, and then you can feel the peat in the back. It's more extreme with the 25 actually, and this is what you get at Laphroaig with the age of 18, 20, 21, but it's normal with a PT whiskey anyway. It just differs by profile and by distillery, of course. There's a second maturation in the cask, and this brings out more fruit, more herbs, whatever, and the peat is getting pushed in the back.
Yeah, this is what we have. We have more of a cask character, but strangely enough, it doesn't end up like the cask makes it more spicy. This one has more of a oak touch to it, a lot more oak touch to it. We realize more mature, more oak, where the other one was more tobacco, smoky, old leather chair, gentleman's office or something. This is more oak touch to it, a little bit of a bittersweet tannins, but the sweetness, vanilla from the cask, a little bit of a, as you said, methyl, a little bit of a herbs touch to it, and the more gentler smoke. I think for Laphroaig, the difference between the ages and smoke is very apparent, because your smokiness is very distinguished or very unique, I would say.
Yeah, of course.
With Laphroaig, I really think that I do suck at blind tastings, but I think I would taste the Laphroaig. The younger, the easier. I would taste the Laphroaig out of a blind taste. Okay, for you.
I would as well. No, but no, you're absolutely right. And what I'm going to say as well is you can really feel the bourbon cask coming through. There's also a lot of vanilla in there as well. Yeah. And for example, what we discussed earlier as well, normally, and you can watch that over 18 and then 25, you're going up to 30 plus. The peat is going more and more in the back, less and less.
Yes.
And sometimes I would say, if somebody would taste that in a blue glass or blind tasting, whatever, an older one is sometimes very difficult to find out if it's what distillery it is, or is it Laphroaig or not.
I think we've talked about the cask influence in the 10 years. The cask influence obviously takes much over when you have older casks. If you have a no age 3-year-old or 5-year-old, you have a lot of distillery character in there. If you have 10 years, you have like medium distillery character. 18 is just a lot oak in there. 25 very oaky. If you go above 30, there's so much from the oak coming that all the distilleries are tasting a little bit more like oak.
This is what every distillery has, of course, if you go up in age. And to be honest, if you go 30 years up, at the stock we have at the moment, there's always also sherry involved. Yeah. There's now no bottling out with 100% ex-bourbon cask. There's always a Oloroso or a PX cask involved as well. Even the new Wall 39 and stuff like that, there is Oloroso and PX involved. And you will see the peat is overlaid. There's no much space for the peat to work. And the only exception I had for a long time was Ian Hunter. You know the series, I'm sure, book number 4 of the 5. And it was a triangle of dried fruits, sherry, sweetness, and peat. I don't know when I tasted the last time a Laphroaig with this punch of peat, and it's 1 of 100. You don't have that very often. in the bottlings. More that the peat is going in the bag, like.
Yeah, I do like it that we have a little bit of a bourbon kind of tasting, because I do love the distillery character of Laphroaig, and I think it just comes out with a bourbon cask really, really well.
Absolutely, and you can be aware and you can be happy for the next 2 ones coming, because they are matured 100% bourbon casks as well. So there's no sherry involved today.
Yeah, nice.
Not that I don't like them. I like sherry casks as well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
and all the wine finishings and all that.
You've got a pretty big range now. So, but it is not a limited edition.
No, it's no core range. It's no limited edition. It's something in between.
It's like extended core range.
It's extended core range. You can say that, and something. We could easily maybe take off the market in 2 years if there's a change in something. You never know. I don't want to say anything. It's just in the range since May last year. I'm happy about it. It's always a big spot in my tastings, and people love it. And but don't get me wrong, it's not limited. It's in the range now, but you don't know what future brings. So it's no core range, but not limited.
Yeah. So so have a look at Whisky.com. If you watch this video like right from your subscription box, then you will probably find it there easily. If you watch it later, a few years later, then have a look. Maybe we still do have it, or hopefully it will stay in the extended core range.
Hopefully.
And have a look at Whisky.com. You will probably find it there. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.